According to an ancient narration, it all began when the Kurukshetra war between the Pandavas and Kauravas ended. There were remains of destruction everywhere. Pandavas, despite winning the war, were unhappy. The blindfolded Gandhari was shedding tears for her 99 dead sons. Her husband, the blind king Dhritarashtra, stood by her side seeming helpless. One day the Pandavas, accompanied by Krishna, arrived into the chambers of Gandhari to offer apologies and condolences. But she was devastated at the death of her sons. In her rage, ignoring the Pandavas, she aggressively came up to Lord Krishna and poured her anger on him. According to her, the mass killing could have been avoided by Krishna, but he did not. Her grief turned into vengeance, and she cursed Krishna that if her devotion towards Lord Vishnu was pure, and if she was true to her husband all her life, then 36 years from that day Krishna would die. His kingdom Dwarka would be flooded, and the entire Yadava clan of Sri Krishna will be destroyed. Soon after the outburst, she realized that she got carried away and fell on Krishna's knees and started crying. Krishna lifted her up and smiled. He told Gandhari that her curse will take effect not only because of her true devotion to Vishnu, but also because change is inevitable and is the primary law of the universe. He knew that Yadavas under his protection were very powerful and no one could defeat them. They had also begun misusing that power. He thought that before his own race becomes a burden on earth, it was time that their destruction happens. A few years passed, and under the leadership of Yudhishthira as the king of Hastinapur, everyone lived a happy and peaceful life. People in Krishna's Dwarika were living in bliss. Once, great sages like Vishwamitra, Durvasa, Vashishta, and others were out on a pilgrimage. After visiting many holy places, they decided to head to Dwarika to meet Lord Krishna and his elder brother Balaram. This misconduct of the Yadava boys infuriated the sages. They cursed that the very next day Samba would give birth to a lump of iron, which will lead to the destruction of the entire Yadava race. The boys initially took it as a joke, but the next day Samba developed a labor pain and delivered a lump of iron. The boys were now terrified if this lump of iron would also destroy their race, so they crushed the lump of iron into a fine powder. While they powdered the entire iron, they missed one small triangular iron piece as it was extremely difficult to crush it down. So the boys took the fine powder and the one small triangular iron piece and dumped it into the sea. Later, a fish swallowed the triangular piece of iron, and this fish was caught by a hunter named Jara. When he cut open the fish, he found the metal and used it to craft a fine poisonous arrow that would help him hunting. As time passed by, the powdered iron washed back to the shores and was deposited at the coast of Dwarka. A certain kind of grass grew in lush abundance where the powder was deposited. 36 years had passed, and it was time for Gandhari's curse to take effect. One evening, the Yadavas gathered on the beach, completely drunk and out of their senses. They began talking of the glories and gruesome mistakes of the past, pointing fingers and mocking one another. Among the Yadava men, Satyaki had fought in the Kurukshetra war alongside the Pandavas, and Kritavarma was on the side of the Kaurava army. A drunk Satyaki began insulting Kritavarma, saying that a true Kshatriya would never slay unarmed enemies the way Kritavarma killed the sons of Pandavas in their sleep. Pradyumna, the son of Krishna, applauded Satyaki for his honesty and began accusing Kritavarma too. Eventually, a fight broke amongst the men. Since the Yadavas had come to the seashore for pleasure, none of them carried any weapons. They saw the long-grown grass in abundance and picked up its stem and blade-like long leaves and attacked each other till death. By the next morning, all the Yadava men had died except Krishna and his two charioteers, Daruka and Babru. The charioteers reached Krishna and informed him everything that had happened to the Yadavas. They also mentioned that the whereabouts of Balarama was not known. Hearing this, Krishna sent Daruka to Hastinapur and informed Dharmaraj Yudhishthir of the mass massacre of Yadavas. And Krishna, on the other hand, set out to find Balaram. He found Balaram sitting under a tree in deep meditation. Krishna sat beside Balaram. In no time, he saw a long serpent come out of Balarama's mouth. As Balaram was an incarnation of Adishesha, his soul in the form of a snake traveled through the sea and went up to the sky, reaching the celestial abode of Sri Vishnu, the Vaikuntha Dham. When Krishna saw Balaram bringing his incarnation to an end, he realized that his time had come too. After a few days, Krishna stepped into a forest and sat under a tree for some rest. The same time, the hunter Jara, who made a poisonous arrow out of the triangular metal piece, was around hunting for animals. The hunter misunderstood Krishna's moving foot for a hidden deer and shot his poisonous arrow in that direction, piercing through Krishna's feet. As soon as the hunter reached Krishna, he realized his mistake and pleaded the Lord for forgiveness. Krishna consoled him and explained him how his death was inevitable. Krishna said that in his previous birth as Rama in the Treta Yuga, Rama killed Vali from behind, so he had now reaped the price for the same through Jara, who was King Vali in his previous birth. This story beautifully brings out the very important fact that even for the ruler of the universe, the laws of karma remain the same. Thus, Lord Krishna left the mortal world. Within 7 days of Krishna's death, Dwarika began flooding by the sea. When the charioteer sent by Krishna, Daruka, reached Hastinapur, he informed Pandavas of the tragic death of the Yadavas, including Krishna and Balaram. Pandavas sunk in great grief. Arjuna reached Dwarika and found the floods beginning to cause destruction. He decided to take the leftover women and children and move them to Indraprasth from Dwarka. On their way out, some thieves saw that crowds of women and children were accompanied by only one man, Arjuna. They tried to rob them, kidnapping and killing many women and children. Arjuna, who was once a great archer, was now old and could barely lift his bow. When he tried to use the divine astras, he could not remember the mantras to invoke the divyastras. Women and children were killed. Some sunk in a nearby river trying to save themselves, while some set themselves on fire. Arjuna arrived to Hastinapur feeling guilty and disheartened. Thus, all of Gandhari's curse came true. Dwarika was consumed by the Arabian Sea. The Yadava race went extinct. Lord Krishna and Balaram had left the mortal world. Kali Yuga had arrived. The Pandavas felt that there was no purpose left for their existence. To know in detail about how the Pandavas brought an end to their lives after the death of Lord Krishna, watch the video linked in the comment below.